gentlemen, welcome back to the Yarbarn Community Podcast. We are in the great company of James Fox. Yes, very handsome man.
Thank you.
Sat opposite me, 2 meters apart at all times.
Yes.
But those dulcet tones that are coming your direction. James Fox, tell us about yourself, James.
Well, I grew up in Yorkshire, which is where my accent comes from. What do you want to know about myself?
When did you move down to London? Where have you been? Where are you going to?
Well, again, another song coming on.
There you go. We love a song.
No, I moved to. I'm from Yorkshire originally. I moved to London about nearly 30 years ago now. My parents used to run pubs, so I spent. I came to Chiswick, which was one of the places my father owned, and I've just been here ever since. Really, you know.
I didn't know that about you. I didn't know your parents were landlords and.
No, they. I grew up in the pub trade. Yeah, it's a very, very northern thing to do, I think. You know.
So you've gone from Chiswick to Hounslow.
Yes.
Yeah, big transition there. We won't say why.
That's a very polite way of putting it.
Yeah, big transition. But you seem like a real Hounslow man, like the heartbeat of the community.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but other people do. Yeah, I think I love people. I love, I like to keep myself busy. So anything that I can do for anybody. It's part of who I am. You know, I'm very much a people person, as it were. So
that becomes very apparent. Just to put everybody into perspective, we share the Bridgelink Centre with community groups, and James has always welcomed our group into his group. Doesn't matter the names of these groups, who we are, where we're going. These groups are people coming together for the good of humanity. And that's from our future's perspective, it is our young people stepping into the unknown. But when you're stepping into the unknown and you're meeting James, it feels very friendly and very familiar.
Oh, thank you.
You are the quizmaster.
I am, yes. Good old quiz. I remember we're not doing them now, obviously, at the moment because lockdown and stuff. But I'm quite partial to a quiz. And you guys, any of the guys that you've always had here, we've invited them over, and you always seem to win, which is a bit annoying. You always seem to win. So but it's great fun, and I think with our barn and our futures, I think the connection that we have as community groups, that's what it's about. And I couldn't imagine being part of this centre without you guys in it. So it's really great because we've had people from your group volunteering at the community cafe that we have next door, which is not open at the moment, but so it's really great. I think
it's the kind of place when you do visit and when it all opens up again, it's the kind of place where you sit down, you have a cup of tea, and somebody who you've never met before will just talk to you. And Mo, who took on the work placement there, was jumping with joy for every day. He got in. There was a definite highlight when I think it was around Halloween, James. The smile on your face says it all.
Yes. Poor Doreen. I really feel for her. Painted her face. Oh my lord.
Yeah, I think I upset Mo because I had to go and do another work placement visit, and I said, okay, I'll be one of your
victims.
But Mo, being Mo, he took it to the next level because there was some lovely pictures I think posted around the time of Mo decorating his own face, and when I saw him, I was flabbergasted, to be honest, because he had the Hulk-like features, and yeah, he had definitely gotten well into it, and the creative process was certainly spurred on by you guys.
But that's great though, isn't it? You know, I mean, that's the whole point. It's about giving you guys the clients the opportunity to express themselves. So yeah, Doreen was covered in makeup from head to toe, but Mo had a great time, which is what it was all about.
Yeah, so. For sure. And watch this space, because experiences like that do build. That's what Our Futures is all about. So when we're looking towards the future, and we've mentioned this before, that when Our Barn get a foothold in the new project over at the London Water and Steam Museum, the Pump and Grind coffee shop, you'll see Mo in that position again.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, in that familiar barista, kind of community cafe worker again, and we're really looking forward to that. But that's the experience you need before you take on a bigger leap of faith, really.
And I think I think it'd be really, it will really benefit him as well. So yeah, he's a card. He's an absolute star. So
without a doubt, it goes down in history next door, I'm sure. James, you're, you know, like everybody, we were all in a predicament towards the beginning of this year where I guess we were all told to stay put and just be. How did you deal with that, James? What was that like?
That was, I'll be honest, it was hard, because, you know, I like my own company, I do, but when you're told you have to do it, it's like Rage Against the Machine. I don't like to be told what to do. So yeah, it was hard, and I think when you've only got your own four walls and your own thoughts, you know, I mean, Zoom and WhatsApp and all that are great, but you cannot beat a bit of face-to-face human contact. So it was hard. It got easier because obviously the centre was closed when lockdown first started, but then we opened the food bank, so it gave me a bit of something to do, which is great. But initially it was particularly hard. Yeah.
James, you got loads of strings to your bows, because you are a man of, like I did say, a man of the community, but the food bank, the cafe next door, the moral support that you give to people, never underrate that. Like you said, human contact, a friendly voice, a reassuring voice, and somebody who you can trust. We've definitely turned to you on several occasions, and you have trusted us. Interestingly, you know, we rocked up at your house with one of the teams. I think we made a mess, but we definitely painted a fence. But you definitely have welcomed.
I think you painted
my.
You one of your groups painted my living room and bedroom at one point as
well.
Oh
my days, that was.
Do you remember?
That was wild, James.
That was.
How you let us do that?
I don't know. I'm just one of these people. Yeah, you want to do it?
Oh,
you know, it's fine.
days.
Absolutely, just do it. Because I just think that, you know, especially with Our Barn and that, I just believe that everybody should be given an opportunity. And a lot of people with disabilities and learning difficulties are not given those opportunities, and that's I feel that that's wrong. So it might be a simple thing of, you know, painting someone's fence or whatever, but if that helps in any way to build confidence and build group, you know, dynamics and stuff like that. I'm all for it. So actually, my fence needs painting again.
It was a few years ago, wasn't it?
You know, so if any of you out there would like to volunteer to paint my fence again, then you're very welcome. And I'm sure I've got a few weeds that need pulling.
Yeah, there were weeds. There were some very tall weeds, if I do
Yes.
remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. I think that this comes from the Our Futures gang. Just thanks for letting us in, because those experiences were valuable.
Yeah.
And like I said, never underestimate a welcome or a trusting hand that says yes.
I'll always put the kettle on and have a packet of biscuits ready for you.
Yeah, we benefited hugely from that. I think the after tea slump took the productivity down a little.
That did. Oh, bless them. Yeah, it always made me laugh. That it's like, how many people fell asleep in my house? It was like, oh, okay. Well, it must just be a good vibe.
Yes.
Then either that or I'm very boring.
No. Far from it. Far from it. You mentioned before we were talking on air about your interests and your hobbies, and you know, when you are kind of indoors, you go down the YouTube rabbit holes.
Yeah, it is a rabbit hole.
Where have you been
Absolutely.
lately? What rabbit hole have you been?
Well, I've been watching, listening to a few podcasts.
Nice.
I'm a complete Star Trek fan. Okay, please don't judge me, anybody. Yeah, I love anything to do with science fiction, so I've been listening to a load of some good, some not so good podcasts. Yeah. So and YouTube is it's a bit like, yeah, you start watching one video, and then you're like, oh, and you can be, it's, you know, I'm really into TikTok as well at the moment.
Tell us more. We don't know. I don't know.
Well, there's YouTube where I can sit for hours just watching videos, and now I can see it on my telly. See, I can lay in bed and do it, which is even worse because I'm awake till 3 o'clock in the morning. But I'm really into TikTok as well, so it's that terrible cycle where you start with one and then you swipe and then there's another one, and it's just completely addictive.
But TikTok's very creative, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and I will admit that I finally plucked up the courage the other week to start recording my own videos.
Ooh.
But I wouldn't recommend any of them.
Why not?
But yeah, so no, it's I'm very much into the, because the thing is, well, we were talking earlier about lockdown. I think people have had to find ways to, for want of a better phrase, entertain themselves. Because if you are on your own, it's like, well, what do I do? And if I didn't have my internet connection, I would be lost completely. So, and I think, you do try to find things to entertain you, really, because you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything, you can't meet your family and what have you. So, But yes, I love YouTube.
You love YouTube. You also love new projects, James.
Yes.
So you have. I've started to follow Sanctuary TV.
You have. I was so impressed.
Yeah.
I was like, I've got David.
Yeah. You're building up a following.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know Sanctuary TW7, James is about to tell you a little bit more.
Well, it's basically it was created because of lockdown, really. Another project that I've been working on, we developed an online presence, but we wanted to expand that, and just basically. So we do things like WhatsApp calls and Zoom calls every other day for people who are on their own or just struggling and need a bit of support. It's very much it's community online, but it's an online community, but it's about creating a safe space for people who are struggling, who need support, and just basically being there, and we post. There's always something. We post something every day. It's like on Mondays we have something called Motivational Mondays. So we'll post a inspirational quote or something, you know, for you to wake up to you to start your week kind of thing. Then there's Talking Tuesdays. I remember a Talking Tuesday a couple of weeks ago. It was, and you might be able to answer this one, I don't know.
Okay, let's try.
Right? Porridge.
Ooh, I had it for breakfast.
Hot or cold?
Warm.
Ah, see? My friend, she says to me, she has it with cold milk. I'm like, no, always hot. But it's things like, it's silly things like that, you know, it's like...
Yeah, who would have thought?
You know...
I would never have thought of having porridge cold.
No, I couldn't have it, no. But it's things like that, you know, and then it's random questions, you know, that kind of thing. And then on Wednesday we have a thing called Wellbeing Wednesday, so we'll do... we post videos of seated exercise, so for people with disabilities and things like that, as well as everybody else as well, but lots of stretches and yoga type stuff, and I've seen some of the positions they've got themselves into, and I really don't think I could manage it. But and then on a Thursday we have a thought for the day type thing, and then Friday is fun fact for a Friday. So we'll just tell you something randomly that you probably never knew. Okay. And and then it all goes through it. So there's something there every day, Saturday and Sunday as well. But I won't bore you with all.
No. I think people need to go there and find out for themselves.
Yeah, go there and find out. We're on Facebook and we're on Twitter at the moment. But it is really just a safe space for people to, especially if you've got mental health issues and things like that, or just in general just struggling and just want someone to talk to, a friendly face type thing, you know. And it's building up, and we're hoping when the centre opens, we're hoping to be able to run our own alongside. When the centre opens, we're hoping to be able to run something here alongside either the church, who run the food bank, or the youth club, or something like that. So, you know, like a little coffee morning.
With your love for music, James, I really do hope there's a singing Sunday in there, or karaoke, crazy.
What you mean midnight on Sanctuary? You mean?
Yeah. Sanctuary has.
We do have a soulful Saturday.
Soulful Saturday. Come on. What is the karaoke?
Yeah. You see, this is the thing. People pick their favourite music video, and it's a song that means something to them, or whatever. You know, they get something from. And I've not actually thought about doing a karaoke. So maybe one day, I think that's something for the future, see?
Oh, yes, please.
And that's great. But I expect you, I'm sorry.
I love it, I'll be there. I'll be there, yeah. Sign me up.
We could do a Zoom
Sweet
karaoke.
Sweet
we
Caroline.
could do a Zoom karaoke, I've got,
Yeah, we're there, I'm there. It has been too long.
Brilliant, no, absolutely.
It has been too long,
yeah.
And I love a sing-song. Let's do it, please. Yeah. Netflix or Prime? If you had to take one.
Oh, see, this is difficult because I've got both.
Yeah, no, and BritBox, but we won't go
BritBox.
there. But you can only have one: Netflix or Prime.
Netflix or Prime? Oh well, Netflix has got Star Trek on it, so I'm afraid it has to be Netflix.
Yeah. Chocolate or cheese?
Oh, cheese.
Cheese. What's your favourite cheese, James?
Blue Stilton.
Blue Stilton. Sunset or sunrise?
Sunrise.
Sunrise. Okay, nice. Sweet or savoury?
Sweet.
Sweet. Neighbours or curry?
Neighbours.
Neighbours, we'll give you that one. Beach or mountain?
Beach.
Beach. Hot or cold?
Hot.
Hot, definitely. Buffy or Father Ted?
You're not fair, man. I like both. But if you're forcing me to, it has to be Buffy, I'm afraid.
I knew it was going to be Buffy. I just thought I'd throw in
Although I'm
An
quite
Irish
partial
influence.
to Angel as well. I am
Yes,
quite
you
partial
are.
to Angel. Yeah. but
Sci-fi or rom-com?
Sci-fi. Always sci-fi.
I'm going to leave you this one. Bond or Bourne?
Born.
Mm.
I don't know why, but I've never really been into the James Bond films. I like all the gadgets, but the rest of it now.
Good. In terms of the future, James, we're all going to sign up for a vaccine, and we're all going to, live happily ever after.
Of course we are.
That's how life happens,
That's
right?
it. Yeah, that's it.
I think.
Yes.
What are you expecting out of 2021?
What am I expecting out of 2021? Probably a little bit of this of the same. I don't think it's going to be any different. Not for some time until the vaccines come out. But my expectations of 2021, I think, with all the things that are happening for me at the moment, all the changes, I'm at a crossroads in my life, so I'm trying to think of it as a positive thing. So there's the Sanctuary, TW7, and that's going to grow, and hopefully bring lots of people together. But especially, I don't know really. I'm quite happy just plodding along. I tend not to have any expectations, because if it's negative, then it's awful, But then if I go in thinking, oh, this isn't going to work out or whatever, and it doesn't, then I'm like, oh. But then if I just go in thinking, oh well, what will be will be, 9 times out of 10 it ends up being positive. So I don't have any expectations. I'm just living my life, and I will continue to do so into 2021, and hopefully it won't be a great big mess up. And hopefully next year we'll be able to celebrate Christmas with family and friends.
Yeah, Christmas in summer, couldn't we?
Yeah, I said that, right? I said that to a friend of mine. I said to people, because there's all these rules at the moment because of lockdown. I said, I do not understand why people just cannot say, let's just cancel Christmas for the time being, but then we can get all of the businesses to redecorate their shops in like April or May or June, and have Christmas in the summer.
Where
What's
we can
wrong with
all
that?
be outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally think we should do that anyway.
Yeah.
Have Christmas as we are now, but it's a great excuse to go out, in the summer, just to get lots more presents.
Yes, please. Yeah, I'm offering lots of presents and buying.
So yeah, and I mean, hopefully it's not far off now, but 2021 will be a lot less stressful for people, because it's and fresh start for everyone in January. So yes.
Often there's a lot of pressure put on a new year, but I think if we just use that expectations of yours, don't have major expectations.
Yeah, I think don't think, oh gosh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Just try to be. See, I try, invariably fail most of the time, but I always try to be in the moment. So right now, do you know what? It's a bit pants, but the optimistic side of me is saying, well, it can only get better from here. So just that's the way I try to look at things. Doesn't always work out that way, but I do try.
Yeah, the sun will rise, and you'll be there.
The sun will always rise.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Yeah. Is there anybody you'd like to thank, James? So we're coming towards the tail end.
Just you guys for letting me do this. Really, I mean, I was a bit like, what's it going to be like? I've never done a podcast before, and I feel quite special.
Yeah.
So,
we
yeah,
asked you way back. We asked you
did.
at the beginning.
At the very beginning,
Yeah.
and you forgot about me.
We never forgot about you. We bumped into you in the corridor.
You bumped into me on the corridor on Tuesday and said, "Oi, come over here." No, I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity to talk to you guys and just, you know, just I think you got what you do is amazing, and you don't give yourself enough. None of you guys give yourselves enough credit for what you do. So
you do know we enjoy doing it, and we love it.
I know, and I love being involved with you guys whenever I can as well. So, you know, but yeah, I mean, I know it's an absolute pleasure for all of you.
James Fox, thanks so much for coming down today.
Oh, you're very welcome. I hope I haven't rambled on too much.
If anything, the complete opposite.
Oh.
Straight to the point. And it's been refreshing.
Good.
Thank you.